everybody, my name is MetalMusicMan.
And I'm Professor Lex.
And this is episode 79. Nope, 78 of the Metal and Lex podcast. We looked up the whole thing because it's been like 3 years since we podcasted. And then we were like, yeah, it's episode 78. And then I just did this intro and I was like, 79. Nope, that's wrong. No. I don't know how that happened. Hi, everyone. This
we're
is our
professionals.
Monthly podcast.
No, don't you do that to us. This is weekly. This is a weekly event.
It's not. You can't keep lying to our loved ones, Alex.
They know.
They
know what they're getting themselves into when they listen to us.
They signed up for this.
Yeah, this is what they wanted.
We're heroin addicts, and our listeners are our mothers, and we just need to borrow $5.
If you guys could just
$5 that's in your wallet on the dresser that you didn't tell me about,
that would be great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, never say that we weren't sponsored. Look, the thing is, we took some time off for mental health or something. I don't know.
We took some time off for the motherfucking holidays.
Goddamn holidays.
It's December 27th.
Fucking, I hate the holidays. They're fine.
The fucking holidays.
So I know you really strongly dislike them.
Okay, now let me de-Scroogify myself before I before I Scrooge.
You're gonna unscrooge?
No, but I'm gonna like just slightly like I like hanging out with my family and eating food and getting drunk.
I too like my family
and just like doing nothing. With my family.
Not my family.
And the problem with I've never really hung out directly. With your family.
You did like once.
I did the wedding.
Yeah, that was
pretty good. Family?
No, that's the once.
No, I mean my family, not my extended family. Fucking extended family.
I like my extended family.
Yeah, see,
I see them pretty frequently.
That's a stupid opinion.
COVID.
I don't know. Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck. Oh, goddamn.
Well, we'll be right back, guys. I just spilled my entire beer.
Doo-doo.
Oh, words!
Oh, wait, are we back?
We're back! Billy Mays here with...
hypertensive heart disease.
The toxicology report indicates that he had hypertensive heart disease and cocaine, apparently.
Well, he died of the hypertensive heart disease, and the cocaine was a contributory factor to the death.
Tension of his heart disease. I spilled an entire beer. It was a whole.
What was the flavor? What beer did you spill?
It was a brown.
Was it the Civil Life Brown Ale?
No, it was a brown beer. I forget which one it was.
Was it Dr. Pepper?
I think based off of all the other factors that have led up to this moment so far, it probably was not, in fact, carbonated soda.
Unlikely.
But it was 80 to 85% of an entire beer, and
that is the worst.
So we're doing this in person.
Worst.
We haven't podcasted in a month, and I forgot that when I podcast in person, Alex is on my right, and I always put my beer on the left of my keyboard. And I went and I started the podcast, and then I just turned to my right and just completely swiped the entire fucking beer onto the floor. I had to change my pants.
He did.
Why we're making Billy Mays jokes. We really, honestly, it's a tragedy that I actually paused the recording because Alex and I went on an unhinged riff about Billy Mays for about 15 minutes while you washed your. While I cleaned alcohol off my floor and pants.
Think Oxy, guys. That's shout outs to our sponsor today.
OxyClean.
Think Oxy. Think OxyClean.
So lovely. Anyway, episode 78 of the Metal Lex podcast.
Welcome back.
I'm doing great. Everything's lovely. I have a glorious mess cleaned up in my presence.
You've got that new pants smell.
Well,
I assume I'm not close enough.
These are the very, very skinniest of jeans that I own. I just put them on.
Nice.
They're for you, Alex.
Oh, really. Thank you. So, hot damn.
Yeah, it's very. I try to get on my sex appeal for you.
These are technically skinny jeans as well, but I deliberately bought them 2 sizes too big so that they'd fit.
Why didn't you buy skinny jeans?
What?
Why didn't you just buy normal jeans? Why would
they didn't have them?
They didn't.
Not in my size. These are Old Navy.
So they only.
I guess strictly speaking, they didn't have skinny jeans in my size.
What are you talking? So you went to Old Navy and you bought some jeans, and they didn't have your size, and then you were like, I know what I'll do. I'll buy skinny jeans, but they need to be big. 2 sizes too big, so they're the same. That is a ridiculous compromise.
These feel great.
All right, well,
they've got room in the crotch. They're kind of tight on my calf.
I mean, if
makes me look like I have big legs.
I would hope they have room in the crotch. Otherwise, you're packing some serious Billy Mays weaponry over there.
Billy Mays, great.
Billy Mays
he had a whole hog.
He had to have a monster.
He was
Right? I mean, what was he?
God rest his soul. Yeah, right?
Like
from just the constant cum stains. From his massive dick.
I think he may have invented OxyClean.
I didn't know that he invented it.
Coming his pants
with his massive dong.
With his massive dong. And he had to invent a new cleaning product to handle that. So anyway, oh man, we are quite unhinged. Welcome, we're professionals. Welcome. Hi,
everyone.
Today we're going to talk about things. We were talking about Christmas. Christmas sucks.
Christmas, yeah, go back to Christmas. We hate
sucks,
Christmas.
And I like spending Christmas with
You're
my
gonna
family.
unscrooge.
I'm going to hold the drink in my hands.
This is so smart.
I can't knock it out.
This is much safer.
No, we're hemorrhaging listeners by the second.
Tell me about Christmas, Will. You teased me with the story of Christmas,
yes,
but tell me the whole thing.
I quite like my immediate family. We eat food. We usually watch a Muppet movie, and I don't like my extended family. And what I kind of forgot about is that since my grandparents are dead, and I don't have to do anything with my extended family anymore. I forgot that was a thing.
Is that a recent development?
Shit.
My grandma apologize
died,
for your loss.
No, she died I don't even know. Probably at least 5 years ago.
I haven't had grandparents for decades. Honestly, almost 20 years.
Yeah, okay. So I haven't been that long, but yeah, it's been so it used to be it was like, "Oh, I have to go do the family Christmas hugabaloo," and it was like I would do it with my family and it would be fun, and then it would be like the next day or later that day depending on the year. I would have to do it, again with my grandma. I have to do it with my grandma, which I always hated. So,
starting off strong, Will.
Yeah, so that was always awful. So, she's dead, and that's really great.
Can't do it with her anymore.
No, it's great because I don't have to do it with her anymore. So I forgot that was a thing, and so Erica is a human whose butt I've been touching, and is my girlfriend.
You're gonna what? You used the GF word?
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, this is just for context. So she's great, and we did the family Thanksgiving thing. Mm-hmm. We did that, and then we
now it's Christmas.
On to Christmas and did it for Christmas as well. And I forgot about that, and she was like, "Oh, we got to do the thing with my family," and I was like, "Cool." And then she was like, "Also with my grandparents," and I was like, "Oh, fuck." So
she's got grandparents?
Yeah, her grandparents are actually bomb as fuck, which I was shocked by because most grandparents suck, especially my grandparents sucked.
Well,
my immediate family is fucking awesome, and most of my extended family is pretty iffy.
Okay.
Not all of them, but most of them. And especially, my grandparents were kind of, I don't know. But, yeah, her grandparents are cool, so that's cool. But where I'm going with this story and why I am especially exhausted is because one of the things that I do with my family and my nephews is I bring my Switch over and I beat the fucking shit out of them in Super Smash Brothers.
It's tradition and also good for them.
Yeah, so it's
builds
fun.
Character.
We play teams, we play whatever. We have a good time, and they're kids, so sometimes they get a little weird if you beat them up too bad or whatever. But it's usually,
but you have no conscience. No remorse.
I have some conscience, but not much.
Okay.
Yeah. So my youngest nephew every now and then used to get kind of weird, but he's he's probably 8 now, and my second youngest nephew is 11. And my oldest nephew's 17.
Is the 17-year-old the one who watches the podcast, or the 11-year-old?
The 11-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, bud.
What's up, Eli? So anyway, so they all play and they all kind of get it now, and so we kind of we shit talk each other, we play, we have a good time. So Erica's like, oh hey, when we go to my grandparents, I have a nephew. His name is Bolton. And
actually,
yeah,
like the character from Game of Thrones.
No, his name's Bolton. We're just gonna go with that. So we'll say his name's Bolton, and so she's like, hey, my nephew Bolton, he gave me a bunch of shit and beat my ass in Smash Bros. You should play him in Smash Bros. I was like, I love playing Smash Bros with the little kids at Christmas. That's my favorite thing to do. I'd way rather do that than my grandma. So so I was like, okay, cool, I'll bring it. So we go over, we're having a good time, we're playing. And it starts off pretty good. Bolton's talking mad shit. Good. And I'm like, all right, Bolton.
How old is Bolton?
I don't know, fucking 10, maybe.
Wow, good for Bolton.
Maybe younger, maybe a little older. I don't know, somewhere around 10. So yeah, we're playing, and he's talking mad shit, and I'm like, all right, man, that's pretty cool. And I'm just kind of throwing it back, and we get through 2 or 3 games, and suddenly, like that, Bolton is not okay. Bolton is livid. And Bolton's like, that's not fair. What you're doing isn't fair. And then I'm still like, well, all right. Like, I'm going to keep giving him shit because he's been talking shit. Frankly, he's been a little shithead.
How's that go? How's that old adage, talk shit, get hit?
Yeah, yes, 100%.
You're going to learn today,
Bolton deserve everything, even up to this point. Little fucking Bolton.
Up to this point,
and his shit
makes
talking.
Me excited for what's going to come next.
Yeah, and I'm like, you little fucking shit, fuck you. And he's like, that's not fair. And then like while he's saying that's not fair, I'm like edge guarding the shit out of him. And then like Erica, like God bless her soul, is like, he's edge guarding you. That's called edge guarding.
Oh my
He's preventing your recovery. She's like trying to give him
educate him.
And Bolton is just like, no, this isn't fair. And I'm like, we need to. And it's very quickly. I was like, oh no, we need to stop. This is bad. And I don't really feel like we did anything beyond that, but then he was just in a shit mood for the entire rest of the day.
You ruined Bolton's Christmas.
And Bolton started attacking this kid named Bowden, and and Bowden had been a pretty cool dude for most of the day, and then they just like got in this weird tussle, and I was like, oh no, I'm the guy who made all of the children fight each other in real life.
Shit rolls downhill.
Yeah. It was pretty weird. And they started like going at it. And then I was like, hey, cut this shit out. Cut it out. That's not okay. Like, we're supposed to play in the game. And I'm trying to like rally them. But I'm like, I realized very rapidly, I'm like, I don't know these kids.
You're out of your element.
I don't know what their situation is. Yeah. I can't. This is why I don't interact with children, because like my nephews, I literally would just turn to them and be like, hey, what the fuck is your problem? And then they'll just stop and listen to me. Like, and these kids were just, I don't know, they were feral. They were going ham. And so they start like pseudo beating each other up. And I was like, all right, this is fine. They're kind of like, they have energy. You know,
they got to work it off. They're going to tire themselves out.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
So then I was like, this is fine. So then I was like, all right, this is okay. They kind of wore each other out. I was like, are you guys cool? And they're like, yeah, whatever. We'll just like play the game. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So then like right when that finishes, someone's like, hey, quit fucking around with Bolton and Bowden. Come upstairs and touch our Christmas anuses. We got to do adult Christmas things. And I was like, all right.
What kind of?
You know, when you touch all the butts for Christmas. It's not important. We went upstairs and did adult things, and I was like, yeah, all right, we'll have fun.
Like taxes? Did you pay your personal property
Yeah, we paid our taxes, and we filed all of our bills for the month, and we balanced our checkbook.
That sounds normal as an adult.
It was a very responsible time. So anyway, I go up there. And we do whatever adult thing. I don't remember. It was like some Christmas game, like, you know, some weird present game.
Sure,
or something.
Rob your neighbor, rob your elephant.
It's not important. And I'm like, yeah, you know, adult things. This is fine. And then like after some amount of time, Bolton just like storms upstairs, and I was like, oh, that was kind of weird. And I was like, I'm gonna go check downstairs. And then Bowden is like laying on the ground with like a knife up his ass. Okay, this is hyperbole at this point, but they got into some sort of real tussle after the
with
one
knives,
and I thought it was fine. And then like they pulled out some machetes and like cut each other's toes off, and I was like, oh god, like these children. What have they done?
Now poor Bowden is toeless.
And it was pretty weird, but luckily no one died. So you know that was good. So anyway, I'm moral of the story is I'm never gonna play Smash Brothers with kids that I don't know.
Yeah, because
apparently they will knife a bitch if they lose.
I had no idea.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about? That like kids get like. I mean, I've like beat up my cousins, right? I've been beat up by my cousins at various points, like as a kid. Like you get into tussles and you get like pissy.
I've tussled with my little brother.
But this was like a very direct cause and effect.
You could see the hand you had.
They were like really excited. But then it was like whenever it was like one of them killed the other one. And then the other one got mad because they killed them instead of like ganging up on me.
Which is,
and I was like, motherfucker, you all
right
said you wanted to do a 4-for-all. I thought we were going to do teams. You know, nobody wants to play doubles. It's 2021.
Fucking
Bolton and Bowden and they're shitty and all these Smash 4 players.
If you kids could just put your heads together and work on some teamwork, I feel like we could avoid kniving each other.
Don't knife each other, kids.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was not like the end of the world, but it got pretty fucking awkward for a little bit because I was like, shit, dude, are these parents going to be like, all mad at me that I like brought a game over, and then they're gonna get all like weird because it's violent. But that didn't happen. And then other than that, it was lovely. There was a lot of good food. Yeah, her grandparents are lovely. But yeah, man, the kids knifing each other. It was awkward.
Could do without that.
Yeah, it was awkward. It was awkward.
What was the favorite food that you had this Christmas?
There's some weird shit that they made that I'd never had before they called it Texas Caviar. Have you ever heard of that?
I've never heard of this, but I've never been to Texas.
There's no caviar in it. It had beans and corn and vinegar.
That sounds like, good.
I would describe it like a pico de gallo with beans.
All right.
Is how I would describe it. It was pretty yummy.
That was
good. Pretty yummy. Yeah.
We take those.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it was other than that, it was actually a pretty solid, besides going through the rigmarole of doing my family, your family times two, all of that. It gets exhausting.
Hate that.
Yeah, it gets exhausting. But other than the kids knifing each other in the basement, it was a pretty good time.
I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed your Christmas at least a little bit.
It wasn't too bad. What did you do? What did you do for Christmas, sir?
Christmas Eve, I didn't do shit all. I think we watched Hawkeye. And then
is Hawkeye shit?
No, it's good. It's actually the best Marvel show that they've made.
You think it's better than Loki?
Yep.
I thought Loki was pretty good and flawed.
No, Loki
and all the other ones have been pretty shitty.
Yeah, awful. In the case of What If is like it actually. You didn't see What If? It's the animated one. Okay, so the premise of What If as a series is that there's a group of beings called the Watchers, and I just sort of like look at shit, right?
They just look at shit.
So this. This is that same thing. The Watchers, they look at like different realities. Like, what if instead of Juggernaut being the Juggernaut, what if Charles Xavier were the Juggernaut and also had his mind powers? That would be bad, is the plot of that comic book that I read. I can lend it to you sometime. Anyway.
It's all animated shit, and they just randomly juxtapose different superheroes. And
Yeah.
Okay.
The first episode is very good. It's what if instead of Steve getting the super soldier serum, what if Peggy got it instead? Peggy Carter.
Who's Peggy?
Peggy is his girlfriend, his British girlfriend.
Is Peggy the lady where he's like, "No, I don't think I will."
Yep, that's the one.
And then he goes and he fucks his wife and they
for
dance
30 years.
For 30 years. Yeah, and then he comes back and he's old and he's like, "I fucked my wife for 30 years."
Exactly. That's Peggy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you, Peggy.
She gets like 10 feet tall or something. It's a good episode.
10 feet tall?
Yeah, she's not actually 10. She's like 8 feet tall though.
Is she big Peggy mommy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, step on me, Peggy Carter.
Step on me, Peggy mommy. Peg me, Peggy mommy. What?
I recommend that first episode, and then don't watch anything else. It'll just make you mad. It'll make you mad, and then there's an episode that is just like blatantly racist. It's
Which one is that? Just out of curiosity.
The premise of that one is, what if Killmonger hung out with Tony Stark? The answer is more racist than you'd think.
It's just really racist.
I got really mad because like at one point Killmonger is killing everyone because he is a bad guy because he's black. Because he's black.
Because he's a bad guy because he's black?
Yep.
Why? No, wait a minute. Why is he a bad guy because he's black? Does he take like the super black serum that enhances the innate evilness in all black people?
Kind of. Towards the end of the episode.
All right, well, that does sound pretty racist.
It's pretty racist.
Now that you mention it, that does sound pretty racist.
There's a bit where Rhodey says, "No, Killmonger, don't you know? You can't act from outside of the system. In order to reform America, you must act within the bounds of it." And then Killmonger kills him because he's evil, because he's black. At the end of the show, because they tie it all together, apparently all these different universes are somehow interconnected.
There is so much multiverse shit going on with Marvel right now that like it was cool when it seemed like it was going to be a bit more focused, but I feel like every single thing that comes out of Marvel now is some shit about the multiverse, and it's kind of like, I haven't seen the new Doctor Strange because it's not out yet, and I haven't seen the new Spider-Man because I haven't gone to a theater. Yeah. But like, it seems like we're getting dangerously close to some. Is that like a comic thing? Is that an arc we're going through? Is there a multiverse arc?
Yes, there's a handful of arcs that are multiverse related, but you saw Into the Spider-Verse. That's the big one.
That was cool, but it was like its own little thing that it did that. It wasn't like now where it's just like, and now it's the new the verse of the things with the Doctor Strange and the multiverse of madness or whatever the fuck it's called.
They got a bunch of new properties and they're excited to play with their new toys.
They got properties?
Back in 1998?
That's not new.
Back in 1998. Marvel was going under. This is one of 2 times that Marvel went under.
Is this when someone wanted to buy Marvel? Sony wanted to buy things and they were like, no one wants to buy anything but Spider-Man because it's all not worth anything.
Exactly. So in order to bail themselves out, they started selling the movie rights to all of their different shows and all the different comic book characters individually. Sony bought Spider-Man, saying no one gives a shit about anyone who isn't Spider-Man, and being mostly right.
Correct.
There's the X-Men. They're pretty big. They went to Fox, and that's Blade, of course, is still a Marvel property.
I always forget that that's a thing.
Yep. First one.
First one?
Well, I mean, like,
was it the first superhero movie? Is that right?
It's not the first superhero movie, but it's the first one that tried to have like a continuum like that. Like,
tried to build a world.
Yes.
To build a world.
So you must first make an apple pie. What are we doing? Are we doing Carl Sagan? No.
I wasn't, but that actually, looking back on it, does.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah,
the pale blue dot. Hello, I am Carl Sagan. That's. Can you imagine
sounding like that?
Sounding like
no,
that, like waking up in the morning and be like,
"Oh,
Carl
good
Sagan.
morning,
I think
world.
I will drink some coffee and study astrophysics.
In order to make a pot of coffee,
you must first consider the atom."
I wouldn't consider shit. That's probably why I'm not Carl Sagan. So then in like 2010-ish, Marvel started going under again, and Disney bought them. And that's when the second Avengers movie came out. It was the first movie, I think, after Disney owned Marvel.
Yeah, that sounds right. Sure.
So then a bunch of other shit got moved around, and then Fox Studios got consumed by Disney. And what's the other one? Sony didn't, notably. Sony did not.
Sony's still its own thing.
But they worked out an arrangement where they would feature Spider-Man in the Marvel universe as long as they could continue to have Spider-Man and make their own profits. And
well, Marvel, that's why it was such a big deal when it was Civil War.
Exactly.
And that was the first one where Tom Holland was Spider-Man.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the point is, now they've got all their eggs in a basket, or however that expression goes, and that's why they're so much multiverse shit.
Okay, that was a lot less climactic than I anticipated it would be. But
well, I mean,
I don't know what I should. I don't know why I expected that.
Hawkeye was pretty good.
Is it really? Like, what more do we need to know about Hawkeye?
What if he had a character or personality?
Well, I mean, that seems unimaginable to me. To be honest with you,
great news. Did you see Black Widow?
No.
Okay. Black Widow, pretty good movie.
No way.
Actually, yeah.
I mean, I
would say it's in the top third at least of the Marvel. Yeah.
Okay. Hang on. What are your top, like?
I'd have to look at a whole fucking list, but like top 3 has got to be the second the Winter Soldier, then Guardians of the Galaxy, and Thor Ragnarok. Those are my top 3. I don't know if it's necessary.
Guardians 2, right? Guardians 1 over 2? I'm kicking you out of my house.
I don't know.
You're insane. Guardians 2 is they're far and away the best Marvel movie.
I don't know about
Guardians
that.
2
Have you seen The Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
With your eyes?
It's not that good.
It's not the best Marvel movie.
No.
You can say it's still not that good, but
Guardians 2 is so much better than Winter Soldier. You're fucking insane. I don't know, man. It's like Guardians 2 is like triple S God tier, and then the entirety of the Marvel verse is like B+. Every other Marvel movie is so much worse.
Somehow I feel like you're still being more generous to Marvel movies than I am. And still,
you know what?
I would recommend Hawkeye.
Hang on. I think Ragnarok is like A+ or S-.
Okay, that's fine.
Thor Ragnarok is like A+ or S-. Thor Ragnarok is really good.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 that are good movies, in my opinion. There are no other Marvel movies that are like actual good movies. Now, that being said, I really enjoy The first Iron Man.
That one's fun.
It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's just kind of a fine movie, I guess. At the end of the day, I quite enjoy. What is it? Ant-Man? Yeah, Ant-Man was fun.
Didn't like Ant-Man.
I liked Ant-Man. It wasn't, but again, it wasn't good. Is the kind of the different. It's kind of the differentiation that I'm looking at. Yeah, like Guardians 1 is fun. There's a lot of fun Marvel movies, but like there aren't very many good ones. And to be honest with you, I actually think that the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are really high.
I do not like Tom Holland.
Man,
he's fine. I don't like him though.
I don't like see him. Okay, so first things first. I don't give a fuck about Spider-Man.
That's fine. He was my favorite character for a while.
I enjoyed a lot of the like Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo Spider-Man games. Those games are cool. The beat 'em up,
Maximum Carnage.
Those beat 'em up Spider-Man games with Carnage and Venom, like. Those games are fucking awesome.
Separation Anxiety. Fucking love Separation Anxiety for the Sega Genesis.
I don't know if I even know that one. It probably
that's the multiplayer side-scrolling beat 'em up with Spider-Man and
Venom.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's probably the one. They've all kind of blended together, but like I love.
Oh, I've got them very.
It's some of those. Okay, it's some of those games. Those games are awesome, and in that regard, I've always really liked Spider-Man. But like in terms of like I don't know, some like really connected character for me, like he's never been like. I mean, I've never disliked him. I've always been like Spider-Man is cool. I've always had a positive outlook on him. But it's never been like, oh man, I really fucking love Spider-Man. So yeah, like the Tobey Maguire movies were like fun and fine.
Bad.
Well, okay, the third one was awful.
As a very all of them. As a very discerning 9-year-old or whatever, I did not enjoy any of the Spider-Man movies.
They're weirdly directed because Sam Raimi is weird, and I
like him.
He's good and bad. It's like if you look at like, there's all this hugabaloo about.
You keep saying hugabaloo.
Do I?
Yes.
Okay.
So you said hugabaloo earlier, and I thought that you were doing like a portmanteau of hug and hullabaloo.
No, hugabaloo is a thing.
See, I've only heard hullabaloo is the word.
I've
never until today. I've never heard someone say hugabaloo. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying it's a fake word.
Hugabaloo.
But.
Oh man, hang on. Are you right? Is this a portmanteau that I didn't know?
Yeah.
No, it's in.
Oh, it's in Shakespeare. It's in A Midsummer Night's Dream. What?
Hullabaloo. Did I read a children's book and mix this up with Hullabaloo? It's like a children's book company. So it is real, but I think you're just right, and the word is Hullabaloo.
Yeah. The word
Hullabaloo is about bringing your favorite characters home and putting your children at the center of action. And they believe that imagination is the key to unlocking your child's true potential. Our range of personalized books, toys, and gifts will make story time extra special.
Holy shit.
It's a real thing. I must have seen it somewhere. But anyway, I'm an idiot. Hullabaloo.
No, you're not. You're not an idiot.
Hullabaloo. I had no idea. How long have I been propagating this children's book company for?
Hugabaloo.
Probably my entire life, apparently.
If I had to bet.
I think so. Anyway, Spider-Man has a bunch of bullshit in it.
Do what? Spider-Man?
I would never say hugabaloo. It has bullshit in it.
Okay.
And there's a lot about it that's kind of stupid, but people have had all of this hoopla about Spider-Man 2 because the Doc Ock scene, because it's basically fucking you get shadow marketing for the new multiverse Spider-Man where Doc Ock is back. But they're basically talking about how like, oh man, the Sam Raimi scene where Doc Ock is getting operated on, it's like a mini horror movie with inside the movie. And it's, I don't know. I mean, I think it's fairly well directed in a lot of ways, but also just like the lighting is shit. It looks stupid.
I just don't like how they murdered my boy. I don't like that they ruined the character.
They murdered Doc Ock?
No, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is just so not Spider-Man.
A single thing about whether or not the web shooters are mechanical,
I don't care about that.
I will beat you up and disown you.
It annoys me, but that's not what I'm concerned about.
I don't understand why anyone gives a flying fuck about that.
Okay, well, what if you watched the new Star Trek that was about fucking Picard hanging out with I don't give a shit, and it was reasonably faithful, only reasonably, but the whole time he was rocking like a mullet. Picard, Jean-Luc Picard, if he had a mullet, would that bother you, or would you just be like, "Oh, it's the interpretation"? Anyone who thinks that
that's not the same
Jean-Luc Picard. No, you're right.
That's
it's a
not
lot
remotely
less.
similar.
It's a lot less offensive because it doesn't change the canon.
No, that would be like if Picard got in a fight and the phaser looked different.
If he set his phaser to red.
Why would it?
No. I'm gonna go back. No, it's
Jean-Luc
Picard with the mullet.
It's just a different phaser, and I wouldn't care.
I need you to imagine Jean-Luc Picard with the mullet. Imagine that and keep that energy. And
I actually think Jean-Luc Picard with a mullet is a really excellent name for like a meme YouTube channel, and it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be about Star Trek at all.
No, obviously not.
It would be about fucking cartoons or something. But the name of the channel is just Jean-Luc Picard with a mullet. Yeah, one word. Mm-hmm. Anyway, all right, we had a topic today.
We did. You guys probably came to hear us talk about Kujichagulia.
Do you remember when both of us were equally really drunk at the top of the podcast?
I don't feel like I was that drunk.
And we both spilled our beers.
I didn't spill my beer. I still got plenty of my beer.
Do you remember that? That was crazy.
No, like Will is pointing out, we're here today to celebrate the second day of Kwanzaa.
Fuck, what?
It's the second day of Kwanzaa.
Are we a year away from our last Kwanzaa episode?
Probably.
Is that?
It used to be weekly, and there's only 7 days of Kwanzaa.
I remember we had a Kwanzaa episode. It's called Kwanzaafication.
We talked about Ronald K. Wanzaa.
It's the second day of Kwanzaa. Is that real?
It is the second day of Kwanzaa.
Well, Merry Kwanzaa, Mr.
Kujichagulia.
I know for a fact that your family celebrates
Kwanzaa. Yeah, of course we do, because
very
we're black.
Important to
That's how that goes. Yeah. So
refresh the audience that Kwanzaa is not a religion.
It is. Kwanzaa's not a religion. Will.
You can't. All right, well that was it. Yeah, now we all know.
So yesterday was of course Umoja, which is unity, and today Kujichagulia, which is
I remember that word.
It's self-actualization. This is self-determination. Today, you and I, as elders, share stories.
I mean, I can't. Can
true.
I celebrate?
You can. You
Kwanzaa?
white people can celebrate Kwanzaa.
So if I right now take to Twitter and I'm like, I'm taking back Kwanzaa for the whites.
You cannot say that I'm taking Kwanzaa.
You
cannot take Kwanzaa from anyone. That's big Grinch energy, but like racist.
All right, but what if I took Kwanzaa and I used it to purify the innate evilness in all black people that took over a Killmonger?
It was really offensive because at the end of What If, spoilers.
What if Killmonger spoilers? Okay,
what if the last episode, the Watcher puts together a team of people from all across the universe, and at the end he was like, "Haha, I baited Killmonger into trying to achieve ultimate power because I knew he is the only person, a black radical, would be diametrically opposed to the literal Nazi. So I'm going to I have put them against they're the bad guys. The black radical and the Nazi are the bad guys. And now they're in turbo jail together where they belong. And that's how What If ends.
So,
any questions?
Yeah, I got a lot of questions.
Okay.
I thought we were done with this, but now I'm really curious.
Now you got to read the address.
He's who is this again? Who says
the Watcher?
The Watcher.
Mm-hmm.
The Watcher is he baited Killmonger into pursuing power.
Ultron gets all of the Infinity Stones and then uses those Infinity Stones to go throughout all of the different universes to gain ultimate power.
Okay.
And then Killmonger, Killmonger and Captain Carter and Star-Lord, except he's T'Challa from Black Panther. They form this team and
the coalition of people innately
the Guardians of the Multiverse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Killmonger is on the team, seemingly for no reason because he doesn't do anything.
The multiverse.
Yeah,
it's like Guardians of the Galaxy, but not
exactly.
Okay,
you got it.
Sure. I understand.
Killmonger's on the squad for seemingly no reason, except at the end when they wrestle the Infinity Stones from Ultron, and then he takes them.
Okay.
And he's like, haha, now I will fix racism. And
by imprisoning Killmonger.
No. Killmonger gets all the Infinity Stones.
Oh, so Killmonger tries to fix racism.
Yeah, and he says, "I'm going to use these to solve racism."
No, I'm here. Okay, because that was the plot of Black Panther at the beginning. Yeah.
So he gets all the Infinity Stones, and he's like, "I'm going to solve racism once and for all
with a snap."
And well, we don't know. And Captain Carter is like, "No, don't do that. You can't use the Infinity Stones to solve racism." Because
that would cheapen.
That's just as bad as
that's as bad. That would cheapen the racism that we experienced and all of the lessons we've learned.
And Chadwick Boseman, this is his final role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he's dead.
He voices it.
He voices T'Challa as Star-Lord. He comes in and he says, "No, cousin, we can't use the Infinity Stones to undo racism or whatever." And then Killmonger's like, "I'm gonna do it though." And then, do you remember the Nazi from Winter Soldier?
Little fucking short
robot Nazi
glasses guy who's in the computer.
Yep,
that actor is terrifying and weird.
I enjoy him.
Yeah,
the actor. Well, he comes out and he tries to take the Infinity Stones from Killmonger.
With his little fucking short guy.
He's in a robot. He's in a robot.
He's
body.
a robot still.
Yeah.
Okay, with his robot short guy.
Exactly, and he grabs the Infinity Stones, and Killmonger's on the other end, and they both got the Infinity Stones, and they're both trying to grab them from each other, and the Watcher puts them in super jail because they're both equally bad. The literal Nazi and the guy who says, "I would like to undo racism." Equally bad.
I mean, I just really like the part where we can't. It's like no, you can't undo all of the murders of the wars of the world because you'd undo all of the
good that came from that or something.
Yeah, which okay,
no,
in some weird vacuum of if you had total knowledge. Okay. Yeah. Here's what I'm going with. If it was some sort of timeline thing where they were like, there's too many variables, I'd be like, all right. Yeah,
totally makes sense.
Because nobody wants to fuck with some time shit.
Space. Yeah,
that's how Red Alert happened. They went back and they killed Hitler.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Hey, fuck you, Hitler." And then we had giant ants that breathed fire.
Was
and tanks and
was Tim Curry in that?
Yeah, in the second one.
Okay,
I feel like have I already done this on this podcast? I don't remember.
Idea.
It would be your favorite thing in the world if you don't already know about it. There's this scene where it's all these actors and they're in these ridiculous little shitty B-movie vignettes that happen in between each mission. And so sometimes you go in and you attack things and you fuck things up and you're like the Allies or the Soviets. And the Soviets are basically Nazis in this timeline because Hitler was killed. And that's kind of the lesson is you can't fuck the timeline because even though Hitler was terrible, other shit gets worse. And the devil basically is the argument. It's we know how to deal with this. To end the other point, I could see that being an argument. But when they're that's worse than racism, it's just that doesn't make
what are we doing? Well,
at least I could allow them to be no, don't do that because we don't know what the fuck's going to happen. And that's scary. And then okay, maybe. No. But to have it have the purity cousin, of absolute rightness
for some reason.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. That's super funny. Holy shit. And tragic. Anyway, so Tim Curry is in the cinematics and you're the Allies and you're fighting back the Soviets and they're all fucked up and there's this cinematic where it's Tim Curry and he's getting paid God knows how much to do these ridiculous quick little acting bits and they're all super campy, they're intentionally campy.
Yeah, on purpose.
And the best one, you have to look it up. You have to look it up on YouTube if you haven't already. But the best one is he does this shitty Russian accent and you've got him fought back to the brink and he's like, "Damn you, you allied scum, I'm launching my nukes to fuck you up because," I don't know, he's Christopher Walken now. Fuck you up or something because you've given me no other choice. And then he's getting in his escape pod and he's like, "I'm going to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism." And then he pauses and he barely can contain his laughter Like in the real take, he can barely contain his laughter. He's like, the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space. And that's the take that they took. Like he pauses.
They
and
were
he
good
loses
there.
his
Yeah.
shit, and then he like collects it and he goes space and like barely contains his shit. And that's like actually in the game, and it's amazing. So yes, Tim Curry is in Red Alert. But anyway,
Thank you.
That's what we learned from the Red Alert timeline
Yes.
is that if you try to go back in time and kill Hitler, you just get giant ants and Nazi Soviets.
Lousy with giant ants.
Yeah,
we don't want.
and it's no good. And then you get George Takei with like lightsaber robots.
That's all right.
It's pretty cool.
That could be worse.
It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
George Takei with lightsaber robots is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I could see if they made like a timeline argument, but like trying to make it the moral absolute argument is like
real weird.
That's pretty bad
and suspicious that they would release this after the longest sustained civil rights protests since the 1960s.
Okay, now come on, Alex. They're not that smart.
Well, I mean, we do know for a fact that the United States military helps subsidize the Marvel movies.
Do we?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
I mean,
is that why there's so much Don Cheadle?
I mean,
and so much stupid what's his fuck new Captain America? Fucking hate that guy. He's dumb.
Oh, hold on. Are you talking about from the Captain America and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah, that series was awful.
I kind of liked none of it. Hold on.
Yeah,
I liked
it was
the
terrible.
Fights.
Yeah, there were cool fights.
Oh no! Speaking of horse shit, do you remember at the end of that Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
There it is.
When
dude, I hated it. He was like solving everything by like giving speeches. It just felt so...
That felt hackneyed, didn't it?
Yeah, it was so bad. It felt awful.
But the worst was the Flag Smashers, the terrorist organization that wanted to destroy borders so that we could have a sense of community. At the end, when they decide to murder people for no reason, and that makes them the real bad guys, and so we had to kill them.
That's it.
Yep.
No, nothing. That's what I mean. Nothing about that series made any fucking sense.
Well,
they tried so hard to like set up things, and like it just fucking fell on its face over and over again.
Actually, you know what part of it I really did like? Isaiah, the original super soldier who would take him.
No, that guy was a pretty cool little arc. Okay, but even he got ruined.
No.
At the end, he gave the little speech, and then they cut back to the super soldier, who was the only good part of the show, where he was like, "Shit's fucked up. Fuck you. Eat my dick." And then he was like, "Yeah, good job, Captain America. Shitty speech. You solved racism."
Do you remember the speech that he gave to Sam? He
said, it was really good.
He said the government would never let you be Captain America, and no self-respecting black man would ever choose to be Captain America. And Sam was like, I don't have any self-respect.
No, I actually thought that was the one good thing in that
I
show.
like that.
When they go
what
and
a fucking sellout.
they meet like shitty fucked over Blackton America, who
Isaiah.
they sent to like fuck with the Winter Soldier secretly because he's a black guy.
Admit a black guy has superpowers.
We can't let the black people have superpowers. They're innately evil. Haven't you read the Killmonger alternate universe?
Haven't you seen the documentary?
That was actually the best part about that. I thought that actor really killed it in that scene. Mm-hmm. I actually was like super annoyed with everything up to that point. I was like, I know everything that you're trying to do. It's fucking, hackney is the perfect word for it. Yep. It's super fucking forced. It's cheesy. It's dumb. It's bad. And then they get to that scene and I was like, holy shit, this is actually pretty fucking good. And it was good because they didn't try to resolve anything.
Yeah, he was just mad. And then like Sam had to leave because he was mad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why it was good. But then they fucked it and they rolled it all up and they shit all over it. Because at the end of it,
you did it. You're Captain America.
He's like, you did it. You're Captain America. Yes. And then they just undid. They just undid everything that was good about it.
Yep. I'm with you 100%.
It was so bad.
It's pretty
I
offensive.
was like actively angry, and I'm
on black people's
and I'm
behalf.
not remotely black. I'm so white, and I was like, this offends me greatly because, but not because like it just felt like they actually achieved a thing, and then they just went and did the same thing they were going to do anyway.
They undid it, yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like, why did you even do the other thing?
Why did you give me hope?
Yeah. Don't
fucking Ralph Boner.
Don't you give me hope. I've been murdering Japanese people to deal with my emotions, and that's been fine.
Don't you give me
Don't
hope.
you give me hope. I love that about like checking shit on like Twitter and Reddit sometimes. I like never thought about that. Like I 100% just bought into where like I was just like, oh yeah, man, he's like killing Yakuza or whatever. And then like some stupid woke ass Twitter thread was like, why is Hawkeye just murdering Japanese people to take out his anger? And that's okay. And I was like, man, that's a
true.
really good point.
They I don't mean to pitch Hawkeye too hard, but they kind of addressed that.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
He's like, damn, I was in kind of a dark place.
Well, thank God they were only Japanese people. If they had been Americans, that would have been really fucked up.
You should watch Hawkeye. Watch Black Widow.
I'll
and
check
then
it
watch
out.
Hawkeye.
Is that required because of things or something?
Jen and I watch it. Hawkeye's only like 6 episodes long. We watched the first 4 episodes, and at the end they said, "Did you watch Black Widow?" And we were like, "Fuck!" But it's all on Disney Plus. So
okay,
yeah, it's safe.
Yeah, I might. So anyway, yeah, Marvel's usually good for like a good C+, but anyway, we tried to segue.
Our topic.
We tried to segue.
Our topic this week is Evo announced that Rick the Hotto of Combo Breaker fame is going to be the new director
of Evo. Yay, Rick! Yay! He didn't tell little boys to get in a pool and
be naked.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can talk, I was gonna.
Rick is awesome. I'm sorry to drag him into anything to do with Mr. Wizard, but it is a necessity because of
casual admittance.
What happened
with
Mr.
Mr.
Wizard. But Rick is the shit. Yeah, he runs Combo Breaker. He's a super nice guy.
I was gonna do a bit where I said Rick's the new Evo man. That's been about a podcast, but like he's worth mentioning that Combo Breaker is definitively the best run tournament in fighting games. It is so smooth.
It's quick. It has no hiccups almost always. It runs more events than almost any other tournament.
Yep.
On time.
They will disqualify people. There's no top player privilege.
Yep.
They are a well-oiled machine, and they pay. I don't know if you've been to any like CEO or anything, but it used to be that if you wanted to do commentary, if you wanted to run a bracket, that was volunteer work, and you did it, and we were all very grateful for you. But that was just like sort of a service that you provided. And Combo Breaker and UFGT were like, nah, man.
They started the payment.
You get fucking paid.
That's cool.
Yes.
I didn't know that. You've taught me something new.
Yes.
That doesn't surprise me though, considering Keats and the Hotto doing that.
Yep.
I mean, they're two of the best. And so it's Keats started Combo Breaker,
UFGT.
which was UFGT.
Yep.
Then Keats walked away, and Rick took it over, and it became Combo Breaker. Combo Breaker's awesome, as Lex said, and so now Rick is the general manager of, I don't know, whatever Evo's company is called.
Series.
So he's going to run Evo, and he's still also going to run Combo Breaker. So what's cool about that is that what I'm excited about is the main thing that has made Evo less good in the last however many years before COVID existed.
Pre-COVID, because obviously COVID
hasn't been a thing since COVID. Evo. But the main thing that's made it less good is like it kind of grew past the point of sustainability really quickly. There was like a good 2 or 3 year time span. I've been to 7 or 8 Evos or some shit, I think. There was a good 2 or 3 year time span where it was like the perfect
size
peak of like maximum attendees, maximum production value, player quality. It was like this perfect
Red Rapper intro vids.
Perfect storm of all the different things. And then very quick, I must have missed something. You're giggling.
I was just laughing because I slipped Red Rapper in. And you didn't say anything.
Oh, Red Rapper's awesome.
Yeah, we love Red Rapper.
Who doesn't like Red Rapper?
Yeah. If you guys haven't, look him up. He's on Spotify. Have you heard his new single?
No.
Oh man.
I really like almost everything he's done.
Look up.
I have like 4 of his albums.
New single. It's called like Everything Changes or something. It's good. It's about fighting games again. So look.
Yeah.
It's good.
Dude, that Wednesday night song.
I
cry when he says
the first time.
Dude, the line.
I grew up on a Wednesday night.
I mean, no, that's really good. But the specific lyric is it's in like the 3rd verse, and he's like, he's talking about like putting in effort and kind of like trying and pushing yourself. And the line is like, this is when I learned that, yes, I could be better if I tried, you know, and like, I'm just like, oh, like, yeah, it's so it's so good, dude.
Listen to Zaid Tabani if you haven't. He's on Spotify Wednesday night. Yeah. Ume Sharu is a banger. But look, anyway.
I'll check it out. I didn't know he had some new shit out, but like I said, I have 3 or 4 of his albums. So anyway, he used to do Red Rapper, formerly known by he used to do like theme songs for Evo and stuff, which I think is what Alex was mentioning.
That was the whole joke.
But that's the whole thing. But anyway, Evo was great, and then it got a little bit too big, and I went to, I think it was like 2 or 3 years of that as well, and I still loved it, and it was awesome, but it was so big that they moved it to, it was basically since they started moving to Mandalay Bay. Yes. And it's great because there is more space in Mandalay Bay, but then like it just feels like you're just in like a shitty garage. There's not like as much easy access to side setups.
Yes.
There's not that community sense. It feels more like homegrown. A con.
Yes.
Than it feels like a tournament. And it didn't used to be that way. And I have been to some Evos that honestly were better than any combo breaker I've ever been to. But they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, no,
because it's too big to do it. And so that's why combo breaker is so good, because combo breaker wants to maintain that feel, and like it does want to grow, but it won't like I don't know. I don't want to say forsake, but like
it doesn't sacrifice that authenticity.
Yes.
And that to me is the one thing about fighting games that I can't give up, and I can't sacrifice, I can't forsake. All of these, like Overwatch League is huge, right? They have a bunch of like big name sponsors. Stan Kroenke has a team, and like huge production values. They struck deals with YouTube and with Twitch, and it all feels very fake to me, coming from a fighting game background where the cost of entry was showing up with a controller and $5 menu or whatever. There is something about that showing up in that sense of community that you get, where everyone is just a guy with a stick and $5.
I'll tell you exactly what that is. That's what I.
Grassroots.
Okay, let me first finish my devil's advocate argument. Start and finish. Really, sorry. But like, I do think there's a lot of merit to invitational.
There is
league type shit, and I wish there was more of that in fighting games. Also, if we ever lose the open bracket grassroots tournament of giantness,
I'm out.
Everything is bullshit, and I'm not interested anymore.
That's not.
And the reason is because that format is how you guarantee that the good people really are that good and aren't just carried by the cost of entry to these big things and having
a sponsor so you can show up. Yeah.
You think of like Smug or Luffy. The year Luffy has still to this day, I think it was 2014. It's the year he won Evo. He lost round 1. Round 1 in pools.
Yep.
He lost. And then won every single
Everything
game.
Else.
Every single set for the entirety of the rest of the tournament for like, I don't even know how many hours over how many days, like, 3 days or whatever. And then won the tournament. That level of consistency and skill leaves no question that you are the best in the world if you beat that. There are too many variables. There are too many. And there's always luck in any double elimination bracket. But there are so many variables that if you are consistently placing top 8 at an Evo type event with that or some other kind of bracket like that. And then, it also means that you can get these new random people who can show up and do these upsets.
Anyone can beat you. If you go up and you have an off day, you will lose to some scrub you've never heard of.
Even in Street Fighter V, like Mena RD came out of kind of nowhere. Yeah. He's just some dude from the Dominican Republic who just shows up and is a good birdie player. And then suddenly he's shitting on some of the best players in the world. And it's like, you don't get that if all you do is these leaguey, invitational, big money sponsored events. So like that authenticity is amazing. And anyway, I think to bring it a bit more home, hopefully with Rick the Hotto at the helm of Evo, we will get more of that at Evo, which is amazing.
Desperate for that. That is all I want.
I want to go to Evo with you and Pharaoh so bad, and I just want to I'm down. Cover ourselves in sushi and just
Do we
writhe
get the
in
businessmen
combos
okay.
and writhe in combos and alcohol and food for 3 days.
I'm in.
And in the hot desert sun.
I don't like the hot desert sun, but
I
everything else sounds good.
Like the hot desert sun. You know why? Because it's
Why's
not
that?
humid.
I've been hot is hot, man.
I have been in Vegas at Evo, and it's 115 degrees outside, and I've been wearing like black jeans, and it's like, I mean, it's hot, but it's fine.
I will. I'm a delicate flower.
I don't think you would. Have you been to a desert?
I've been to Evo.
And you died in the heat?
Yes. I if it gets hotter than 72 degrees, I'm suffering.
I don't know. At the very least, I thought it was very much less awful than Missouri heat, personally. But
that's fine.
But anyway, we can spend
sushi,
time in the casinos with the
combos.
Yeah, we'll be good.
I'm in there.
I want to go to an Evo with you guys whenever, So anyway, in 10 years when COVID is dead, and we can attend another
moved
Evo.
on to new COVID 20.
Fucking Omicron shit now, dude.
Yeah,
I don't even want to talk about it.
I mean,
I don't even.
No,
the world
it's
is
okay.
dying.
It's all right.
And so are we all.
But at least we have bows.
Anyway, I have been Metal Music Man.
I've been Professor Lex.
And we will catch you guys next time.
Bye. In a week.